Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Jean and today we are going to work on another bookmark for our bookmark series. We're going to do these metal ones and you just bead them. So I got these ones from when I worked with Globeland. So I thought we'd use them in a video. So you got 12 of them for $5.64. So that comes out to be about 47 cents per bookmark. So if you are using these for a craft fair, that's not too bad of a price. Now you can get these other places. I just thought I would use the ones that I got from Globeland. So I will put a link for those down below. I'm sure you can find them other places. But since I had them, I thought we'd use them. So you get 12 of them. I should grab these other ones. I'll show you what you get. You get 12 of them in the pack. You get a brass and a silver. So these are little mermaid ones. Okay, and then these ones have a flower etching in. And then you got this snake. One brass, one silver. And the dolphin came in a big one and a little one. It's the only small one I got. And then we have the hummingbird. And they're pretty heavyweight. And then the feather. Okay, so I am going to show you a couple different ways that we're going to make these. We'll start with the hummingbird. I'll show you how I like to make them. There is other ways you can make them. I gotta grab my crimp tools. My crimp tools here. We will be using, I will show you how to do them with this wax thread. If you don't want to use jewelry stuff, you can use that. I will be using the fishing line. Okay, and I will be using some crimp tubes, or you can get little beads too. You can get them in little beads, but I like using the tubes better than the beads. And then I have two crimp pliers because this is like really weird, because I'll try to show you. This one I like better. See, crimp, let me grab my, okay, so there's two holes. You don't worry about this. This is just, so you can see this hole has like a little knob that sticks out there. That's what bends your tube in half. Okay, and then the top, it makes it into like a U shape. And then the top one folds it over. It makes it into like a tube shape. Well, this one, you can see, this is the crimp tool. There isn't a very big knob there. So it doesn't do a very good job of making that U shape. But I like this hole better than this one's a little bit bigger. So I like this hole better for when you fold it back in half. So I end up using both. I got this one first and I didn't like that part, you know, where it makes the U shape. And then so I got another one, and I don't know, I can't get a perfect pair. So we will use two of them. So let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna use the hummingbird, and I got a selection of beads here, and we will use some fishing line. Now some people will take, I'm just gonna grab a big jump ring so you can see what a jump ring. This is a jump ring. Some people will hook a jump ring on, the smaller one of course, onto there and then start, you know, putting their string on or whatever they're using. I don't like to do that. Sometimes jump rings can be rather flimsy and they can kind of open up on you and stuff. I like to put my fishing line hook right on, and that's where the crimp bead comes in handy. Let me open it up. Get a couple out here. Couple, because I'll need two of them all together. See what size, if I want to use that size, if I want to go use the bigger one. You guys maybe can see the bigger one a little better on the screen. They're going to be hard to see either way, so it's not like they're that much bigger, but I'll grab those ones out. Okay, so first I'm going to thread my fishing line through that hole. This is a 25-pound fishing test. They call it a test line. And then I'm going to pick up one of the tubes Easier said than done. Let me grab my glasses on too while I'm doing this. And then I'm going to bring it, move this off to the side. Okay, so then I'm going to bring it all the way down so I have a long tail and I have a short tail. I'm going to untangle it. So I'm going to bring the short tail back up through that crimp bead. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. So I have both of them through there. So then it makes the little loop. There we go. You see that? And I'm going to put that up. Oh, I wanted the silver one. Hold on. We want silver. I don't know what I was thinking, guys. We want silver. Not that it really is a big deal, but I am using the silver. Okay, those are going to be too big. Let's go down one size. Grab a couple out here. Okay, let's try that again. So grab one of the tubes. And then grab your short tail and bring that back through the bead. Now we have that. I'm going to bring it up pretty close to the loop there. Okay, so you can see that's going to help. That's going to hold that string onto there. So I've got it right below the loop. Now I'm going to take, move some of those back. So I'm going to use that second hole first where that lump is there, the hump. And we are going to flatten that into a U shape. And this is really hard to show on camera. It's not the easiest project. If you've never done this, there's other videos on YouTube that people manage to get a halfway decent shot. So now you can kind of see I just flattened it. Made it a little concave. Now I'm going to take that first hole up there, the top hole, and essentially we're bending that back in half and to form a little tube. We line that up in there and we're going to form a little tube. And if it's not nice and rounded, you can keep working it, but my first try looks really good. So we're good and it's on tight. Now we are going to start beading. So let's see how I want to do this. I will use a little bead first. And these beads came from a container from Michael's where they have different sizes of these colored beads in. I thought they matched nicely with my little angel. Let's put that down. And then we just have these little silver spacers I'm going to use. Another smaller bead. And then we'll go with a bigger bead. Nope, another spacer first. And then a big bead. A spacer. A small bead. You know, normally I'm not doing this up in the air. Spacer. And then our last bead. Okay, so we have that. Now this little tail, I'm going to bring back through just a couple of the beads and then cut it off shorter. Just bring it back. You don't really have to do that because you have that thing on, but I do that as a little added. So there, and I'm just going to cut that excess short one off. Make sure you're cutting the short one. Okay, so far we have this. This is what it looks like so far. Okay, now we are going to put a spacer tube on again. You want to put the spacer, the crimp bead I mean, not a spacer, crimp bead, or a tube in my case. Put that on first. Then we will put the charm on. Grab a hold of my little crimp beads so it doesn't go into the bead, although those are small beads. Now you can see I have the bead, the crimp bead, the tube, and then the charm. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to go through that crimp bead, and it'll go through a few beads on its own, so we'll gotta go through a couple beads and come out. I'm just going to pull everything tight, kind of hold on to my angel and pull it tight, but not too tight. So you want it to be loose so that not everything's clumping together. You want it to hang nicely. Let me just make sure we got a little. If you go too tight, it's going to get all bulked up. Okay, let's see where we are here. All right, now we want to go ahead and crimp our little bead down there. Don't want to forget to crimp that. Just my good one, this one. I should mark those. Well, I will someday. Okay, we're going to just go ahead and make the U shape. And then we're going to take these ones. Beautiful. And then we will cut that extra fishing line off. Don't need that. I think that's enough for another one. Sometimes I go overboard, and then let me hold it, and then that's what we have here. Trying to hold it down in here so you can see the whole thing. So there's one bookmark. Okay, put that over to the side, and then we will do, let's see, we'll do, how about we'll do the dolphin now. Nope, the mermaid. Yeah, let's do the mermaid on this one. Do the mermaid, and we kind of got this sea thing going on. I got a starfish here, and then I got a dolphin, which is not showing up very well, but it is blue, not green. It's showing more green there, but it is blue. I think maybe the blue plate. Okay, so how do I'm gonna put those beads? Okay, same thing. I will show you the string at the end. We'll show you how to use that if you don't want to do any of this crimping and stuff. We'll show you how to do that. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to take our tail through. Let's move that aside for a minute. Grab one of our crimp tubes. And put that on there. Whoop. They are tiny, guys, so beads are even tinier, so that's why I like the tubes there. At least they're a little bit bigger. Okay, bring this all the way down. And then you're going to bring your short tail back through it to form your loop. And then you can shorten up your little short tail a little bit if you want. Okay, again, we're just going to bring it right up to the closest you can get it. Okay, now we are going to take our little crimp one, and I'm going to put it on there, the second hole, flatten it down. Okay, and then we will round it. And I need to round again. It's not perfect. You just kind of keep going around it and it'll round. It just looks like a bead on there. That just holds everything in there. Okay, now let's start with, we'll start with the big bead here. These are just beads that are in my stash and everything. I just kind of went through my stash and see what I got. Got a little rondelle we're going to put on. And we've got this blue bead. Okay, now I'm going to take that little tail and go through those, back through those beads. All right, and let's do our starfish. Cut that little tail, rest that little tail off. Got our little starfish there. Now we will put the little round bead on. Our rondelle. The hardest part really is picking out your beads. You don't want to see that process. I'll be here all day with you guys. Okay, so then we'll pick up a little crimp tube again. Put that on. And I'm going to hold it down there so it doesn't go inside my big bead until I can crimp it off. Okay, I got the charm on there. There's my crimp. We are going to take this end and go through the crimp bead. Make sure I actually go through it, which I don't think I did again. That time I did. Now we will kind of lay it down, and then I just hold the charm and then pull it to where I want it. Okay, and I'm going to go take this long tail and go back up. Well, I can do that after I crimp. Let's crimp it so I don't lose everything. Okay. Okay, I'm going to hold that the best I can. Take my little tool. And now round it off. Looks good, looks good. Get a little bit more this way, a little rounded. And just kind of keep going around it. Now I will take this and go through a couple of the beads. And you really don't have to do that process, but I do. Okay, and we will cut it off. And now we have that one. Let's turn that so you can see that better. So, cute. Okay, we'll do one more, and then we'll do the we'll do a brass one. What should we do in brass? We'll do the feather. Let's do the feather. And I didn't really have no brass beads, so I just kind of took some orange beads. And this is a lighter orange charm. I couldn't find much for orange charms. And I just got some clear and some orange. And I got this little flower one, which you can leave like this. It's got a hole in the middle. You can leave like that, or you can find a bead that fits in it. This one fits in perfectly. So on camera, I'm going to try to thread that through. Yeah, I sure am. Right, guys? You want to see that, don't you? Okay, grab a chunk of that again. And there is some in here that kind of almost look like a brass. They're not as shiny as the gold, so we're going to use a couple of them. And let me grab a couple and throw them in here. Move you off to the side for a little bit. Got crimp beads all over. Same thing. We are going to go through the hole, and all the holes on here are a 3mm opening. So I mean, that's a pretty big opening. Okay, thread it through one, bring it all the way down to the short tail. Grab your short tail and bring it up. Catch it, and then just go ahead, and I will shorten my little tail. Don't need that much. Now I'm just going to push it up as close to the hole, not too tight because you don't want it, you want it to move a little bit, kind of like that. Okay, move that out of my way. Grab my little U-shaped thing, whatever we want to call it. They're called crimp pliers, but I'm sure there's some technical terms to what this is doing. Well, I know there is, but I don't know. Okay, keep rounding that off a little. And I think I want to round one more time here. Okay, now take your long tail and we will start threading. We are going to put the orange bead on. Now the fun part. We are going to try, we got our hole will go this way, and we're going to try to line that bead up inside there with the hole going in the right direction, and we're going to hope we get this on the first shot. Oh, look at that. Oh, you didn't have to watch me struggle too much. Wait, it didn't go through the flower. It went through the ball, the bead, but not through the flower. Let me pull some of that and get it back. Boy, that could have been like a long time. You're like, oh, you know what I did though? I did that so perfect, but I forgot to add a bead first. Oh, now you might get to watch me struggle. I want to put a clear bead first. Oh, I'm gonna cry now. Okay. Okay, clear bead first. Now let's see if we can do this again. I lined up my holes best you can. Tend to do it in my hand. And ta-da! Because I think it's easier for me. Okay, now let's bring this back through a couple beads and cut some of that short tail off. Okay, now I'll cut a little bit of that tail off. All right, so now we have that so far. And now we will add, there we go. Now we'll add a clear. And then the orange. And you can make these as long as you want. I don't make them any longer than the bookmark itself. So you can make them short. You can make them, this one is about 3/4 of the way down. And this one actually goes almost all the way down to the bottom of the bookmark. So you can make them as long as you want. Now we're going to put this, we need first a little crimp bead first. And bring that down. And we're going to grab the charm. Fishing wire is not easy to work with, if anyone's worked with that. Okay, I'm going to pull it fairly tight. Bring it down. Grab the crimp bead and go through the crimp bead. Okay, get that not too tight. I like to leave a little slack so the beads have a little movement in them. Okay, I think we're good right there. Okay, let's see how I am. Okay, now squeeze it in half, and now we are going to round it. Look at that. Okay, and now we'll just go back through a couple of the beads with our tail. We'll just go through 2 of them. Cut it off. And voila. And we have that beautifulness. I know this is coming out more yellow, but it is a little orange. It's not as dark orange as that, but it's a little darker than that. These are even darker than what's on camera. So, okay, so that's 3. Let's do one. We're gonna use the wax. So if you guys don't want to use, if you don't like doing beads, not gonna use crimp tools, you don't want to buy all this stuff, we are gonna show you how to do one with wax thread. Okay, this is easy. Okay, so instead of putting a charm on the bottom, I'm going to put a bead as the focal point on the bottom. So I've got this teardrop shaped bead, and I'm just going to run it through. Nothing fancy-wancy. And then what we're going to do is just tie a knot at the bottom. Now you want to make sure it doesn't go through the hole. Okay, that should be good. What I do, and I'm gonna do this. I might end up gluing my fingers. Is I love this super glue. Get the gel, and I will put just a little bitty drop at the end. Just a little bit. And pull that. Oh, geez. I knew I was going to do that. I pulled it too far. Okay, I'm going to let that sit. Try not to touch it until it does dry. And then I don't cut that. I'll cut that off at the end, the tail. But I'll wait till that dries. All right, how do I want to do this? I think we'll put the little bead first. And these big, I just went with the blue and green. We are going to put this one on this flower one. Now I've got this bumpy kind of one. Some people call that a raspberry bead. It's probably a technical name. Maybe that is the technical name. And we got another one of these. And then the green one. There we go. Okay, so we have that. So now all we're going to do is tie it in the hole there. Something stuck up there. Okay, so we're going to bring it up there. And we're just going to tie like a regular loop knot. We're just going to tie it. And bring up the slack. Going to bring it as close to the hole as possible. So just kind of keep working it until that. And I want it a little closer up, so I'll bring it. You're not too far away. Come on. Doesn't want to cooperate. I'm trying to do this upside down and backwards. Well, okay, try that again. You guys like watching me struggle, right? All right, now we're going to get that up there. Just going to do like a regular little loop there. Okay, that's better. Just get it closer and then just pull tight. Then I'm going to bring it through the hole again and do one more knot. This is wax threading, you know, holds really good. That's why I like using the wax thread. And then just pull really tight. And then we're going to cut all that excess off. Now if you want, you can put a little dab of glue up there, but I never seem to have a problem doing it up there, but I do down there. So let's cut that off. Hopefully that's dry enough down there. Cut it right off to the base. And then you can't really see the string much on this one. So, you know, there's another option for you. If you guys do not want to use the crimp beads and all that stuff, do that. But I have one more option. If you watch my Shein haul, I got these dangles. They have the hook on them. They already have beads. They're all ready for you. Let's put them on. We'll put this one on the little snake. All you have to do is hook it on. And you are done. Look at that. And you are done. So you have another option. So these are 47 cents. This comes out, there's 10 for $3.06. So that comes out about 30 cents. So you're under $1 for this. I have seen people charge, you know, $7 to $10 for these metal ones at craft fairs. Would I pay that? I don't know, because I'm a crafter and, you know, I know how much it costs. Now, it doesn't take much time, you know, to make these. You know, every area is different. Some people might get $10 for them in their area, you know. Me, I'd probably sell them for $5, you know. I don't know. It's been a while since I sold the bookmarks. But like I said, I'm only at under $1 already, and my time for it was really nothing. So there's a couple different ways that you can do this. So this is the easy way. If you can find, this one has the elephant on the bottom. I am buying some other ones that they had some that have a moon on the bottom, some that had a star on the bottom. And I didn't search yet to see if I can find more, but that I've found those so far. Then we have this one that we use the wax thread on. So easy peasy, just get your wax thread and do that. And then we have these ones that we use to turn the starfish around. We used fishing line and crimp beads. So if you've never done that before, here's our hummingbird one with the angel. And then we have this one here. So there is 5 different ways you can do that. And I think, you know, they're really cute. And you know, like I said, these hold, you know, people like to, you know, probably play with them. So that's why I don't use a jump ring, because, you know, I think it stays much better that way than using a jump ring. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. I will leave links in the bottom like I always do. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.